Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up.
What's up, everyone, and thanks for stopping by. I'd like to welcome you to This Week in Stupid, where we find stupid shit, we make fun of it, we have fun, we laugh, and we move on. All right? Okay.
Simon says, get the fuck up.
You folks at home, how many of you got up this morning and had an empty chair at the kitchen table because someone died of COVID?
That's how you win an election. Nailed it. So that young hunk right there is former Delaware Senator, former Vice President, the 45th President, the 46th President of the United States, and what some would love for you to believe, the second coming of Jesus, Joseph the Tool Man Taylor. And here's the Tool Man tongue blasting this kid's eardrum. It's a little gross. Listen, I know it's just a kiss on the cheek from a horrible angle, and I'm also aware why they took this picture, but that don't mean it's not weird. We're not going to sit here and say this father-on-son action looks normal. And call me crazy, but what happened to just standing close to each other and possibly a hug, right? Nope. The widows at Popular Mechanic thought it'd be a good look for Joe to nibble on and swallow his kid's earlobe. They saw this angle and thought, that's perfect, snap it. I hope they fact-check this just so I can see false. There is no proof that Joe Biden tongue-punched his son Hunter in the eardrum.
Come on.
All right, Joe, calm down. It was just a joke. Why are you so hostile? Put your boom booms away. They're not real, and you can't shoot lasers out of your fingertips. You look stupid. You're acting like a child. So when I look at Joe, I don't see what 80 million and still counting see. What I see is a frail old man who's going through the beginning stages of dementia. I'm just being honest. Let's not pretend if the police got an APB for a missing old man who suffers from dementia. Joe's their guy. Joe fits that description to a T. And that's why I can laugh at pictures like this. I know Joe. Look at Joe. Joe looks confused as fuck. It's like Joe doesn't understand how his sleep mask is going to keep him safe from the flu, you know? It's science. This guy's real. 80 million votes and still counting. And with that, this picture still don't surprise me. It's not because he's a grown man who hasn't figured out how to use his mask. That's not it. I'm not surprised because I know this is how Harris and Pelosi keep Joe distracted and entertained while they think of better ways to keep the people scared and divided. You know, they just plop him down on the floor with his mask in front of a mirror so he could play peekaboo with himself. But honestly, who could even fucking blame him, right? What they need to do is just lock him in a closet. How are they supposed to get any work done while he's stomping around whining, talking about how he's not tired, he don't want to take a nap, he wants ice cream?
Our work is hard for those who didn't vote for me.
Well, first off, Joe, you haven't worked all that hard in the last 48 years, so what you're saying right now really don't mean much. And secondly, I got a little nervous for a second. I thought he was going over. It's a strong lean for a 90-year-old.
As those who did.
By the way, if you're scoring at home, Joey is 2 for 2 on the nailed its. I mean, he's full of shit, but he still nailed it. Anywho, I don't think it would hurt to keep a couple people up there with him. Just in case he does tumble over, they can catch him. His legs, equilibrium, they just ain't what they used to be. He's old. And not too long ago, they had to rush him to the hospital because he fractured his foot playing with his dog Major, who, may I add, looks just as confused in this picture as Joey usually does. But yeah, he slipped and he fell, he fractured his foot, and even though the pediatrician gave him a lollipop and that rad walking boot, he's making us look bad. You got Vladimir Putin out here riding on the backs of fucking polar bears into Crimea while Joe rides in the back of an ambulance to the hospital for a stubbed toe. Come on.
Let this grim era of demonization.
That's a lot of syllables, Joey, but you can do this. Just clap it out.
Demonization in America begin to end here and now.
That right there was a haymaker. That performance was nothing short of Emmy-worthy. Look how proud of himself he is. He's so happy. He's looking up to his people in the corner, waiting for the thumbs up. He got it. The eyes blink. He's like, I knew I fucking nailed it. And even though Joe is 3 for 3 on the nailed its, I think people sometimes forget or just may not even know that these people have speechwriters. Joe wasn't shooting from the hip here. Joe wasn't in his basement all summer long knocking out speeches. He's reading from a teleprompter or being told what to say through an earpiece. Salute the Marines. So here's a cute example of what I was just talking about. We must make the promises of the country real for everybody, no matter their race, ethnicity. Yeah. I have a hard time believing Joe was able to say the word ethnicity. I would almost bet Joe didn't even know that word existed before 2008. Either way, faith, identity, or their disability. Joe Biden. I must say he is a prominent philosopher. Yep. The next David Hume. So now when I talk about the greats like Plato, Aristotle, Locke, Socrates, I'm going to need to immediately stop and remind myself that they might have been good, but they weren't Joe Biden good.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
Haven't seen any of that wisdom in a comment section yet, but that's what happens when these prominent philosophers can't read the shit on the teleprompters that they wrote for them. I'm not trying to imply the stuff they say or promise isn't sincere. I'm just saying they don't write the shit or lose any sleep over broken promises. That's all. Look at Harris, the parent assassin, back there looking at Joe like if he doesn't sign these orders, she ain't getting any of her kickbacks. And once she told Joe nobody was getting kickbacks unless he signed all these orders, let's just say Joe wasn't worried about his osteoarthritis flaring up. But hey, I want to thank everyone for pulling up and rocking out with me. I really do appreciate it. The plan is to drop a video once a week, so make sure you subscribe. Yada yada, a thumbs up, blah blah blah, that bell. Just don't break it.
Simon says,